lot of the people, they prepare for the wedding day. Unfortunately, they forget that there is life after the wedding. We are going to look at the first marriage that was performed. Who performed it? And what are the necessary steps that were taken before they got married? Welcome to One Truth, and thank you for joining me today. And here we will keep you motivated and encouraged. If you are new to the channel, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. And if you have been with us for some time, make sure that you do subscribe, share us your thoughts on the comment section, and give us a like. That will be greatly appreciated. So today, as we are going such a very wonderful and interesting book looking at the Adventist home. So today we will be under the title, The Eden Home, a Pattern. The Eden Home, a Pattern. So as we look at here, we look at that God prepared man's first home, God himself. The Eden home of our first parents was prepared for them by God himself. When he had finished it with everything that man could desire, he said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." The Lord was pleased with his last and the noblest of all his creatures, and designed that he should be the perfect inhabitant of a perfect world. But it was not his purpose that the man should live in solitude. He said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him." So as we are looking at God, as he was creating, he created Adam and he put him there. And Adam was given a responsibility of naming the animals. So as he was looking at the animals, he saw that the animals were walking in pairs. But himself, he did not have a companion. And therefore, he felt a need. And then that's the only way that God said, "It is not good." All this other time when he was looking at the creation, he said, "It is good." But now when it came to man, because he was the only one and he was lonely, and even also the presence of the angels could not cover that gap. And then God says that it is not good that a man should be alone. And therefore, I will make him and help meet for him. God himself gave Adam a companion. He provided any helpmeet for him, a helper corresponding to him, one who was fitted to be his companion, and who could be one with him in love and sympathy. Eve was created from a rib taken from the side of Adam, signifying that he was not to control him. Let's take closer attention to that. She was not to control him as the head, nor to be trampled under his feet as an inferior, but to stand by his side as an equal, to be loved and be protected by him. A part of man, bone of his bones, and flesh of his flesh. She was his second self, showing the close union and the affectionate attachment that should exist in this relation. For no man ever yet For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall give unto his wife, and they shall be one. Now, as we look at marriage, marriage is not for mama's boys. You look at that, some other people, they are mama's boys. What do I mean by that? Yes, they are married, but everything it has to go through by the mother. If he has to take a decision, he says, "I'll first have to talk to my mother." If he has to do anything, "I want to talk to my mother." Marriage is not for that. We look at that. A man will leave his father and the mother and cleave unto his wife. How wonderful that is. And now looking at also Adam. Adam, as he was created, Eve was created also not to control Adam as the head. But even also Adam, he was not to trample on his feet as an inferior, but he was created to be as an equal. This is how God created them. But now, what happened? Why is it that now the man is the head And there is that equality which was there in the beginning is not there. Why is it that the governments are so busy empowering women, and as a result, they put down the men? Why is it that? What is that they are trying to accomplish? So this was not the design of God. First marriage performed by God. It says that God celebrated the first marriage, thus the institution he has for its originator, the creator of the universe. Marriage is honorable. It was one of the first gifts of God to men. And it is one of the two institutions that, after the fall, Adam brought with him beyond the gates of paradise. When the divine principles are recognized and obeyed in this relation, marriage is a blessing. It guards the purity and the happiness of the race. It provides for many social needs. It elevates the physical, the intellectual, and the moral nature. He who gave Eve to Adam as a helpmeet performed his first miracle at a marriage festival. In the festal hall where friends and kindred rejoiced together, Christ began his public ministry. Thus, he sanctioned marriage, recognizing it as an institution that he himself had established. So, in the marriage of Cana, in that time when they had no wine, and then the mother of Jesus comes to him and says that we have no wine. And that is the first time that Jesus performed a miracle. We look at that. Christ honored the marriage relation by making it also a symbol of the union between him and his redeemed ones. He himself is the bridegroom. The bride is the church, of which is his chosen one. He says, "Thou art all fair, my love. There is no spot in thee." So every want was supplied. Now, as we look at marriage, it has to be first prepared. And after the necessary preparations, then now a marriage can be performed. Most of the people, they prepare for their wedding days. They make it so extravagant, and they forget that there is life after the wedding. And as a result, after the marriage, now it is time for them to go for a honeymoon. Now the stress is coming in. They start to look at that. There is no place that is prepared for them. There isn't enough food that is prepared that they are going to eat after they are married. Everything, they exhausted it on the wedding day. And as a result, one will end up quitting and leaving the marriage life saying that I'm finished, I'm done, I can't take it any longer. Because they did not have enough and necessary arrangement, and as a result, they cry at the end of the day. Now, as we look at Adam, every want and every need, it was supplied. Adam was surrounded with everything his heart could wish. Everyone was supplied. There were no sin and no signs of decay in glorious Eden. Angels of God conversed freely and lovingly with the holy pair. The happy songsters caroled forth their free, joyous songs of praise to their Creator. The peaceful beasts in happy innocence played about Adam and Eve, obedient to their weight. Adam was in the perfection of manhood, the noblest of the Creator's work. Not a shadow interposed between them and their Creator. They knew God as their beneficent Father, and in all things their will was conformed to the will of God. And God's character was reflected in the character of Adam. His glory was revealed in every object of nature. This is really wonderful. Labor was appointed for man's happiness. So now when we look at one, you don't have to be idle. When you don't have to just sit down on top of your hands, but you are to labor, you are to work. God is a lover of the beautiful. He has given us unmistakable evidence of this in the work of his hands. He planted for our first parents a beautiful garden in Eden. Stately trees were caused to grow out of the ground of every description for usefulness and ornament. The beautiful flowers were formed of rare loveliness, of every tint and hue, perfuming the air. It was the design of God that men should find happiness in the employment of tending the things he had created, and that his wants should be met with the fruits of the trees of the garden. To Adam was given the work of caring for the garden. The Creator knew that Adam could not be happy without employment, so he had to work. So we look at that, an idle mind, it is the devil's workshop. When one is idle and doesn't have anything to do, then the devil will end up giving him something to do. So as we look at Adam, as he was created so beautiful and created perfectly, he was given also a responsibility to look after the garden. One brother loves to say, when you look at marriage, marriage is like a garden. You have to make sure you touch up each and every time to make sure that everything is in order. You make sure that you cultivate. But if you don't cultivate, who is going to come and cultivate? And as a result, the end of marriage is at hand. The beauty of the garden delighted him, but this was not enough. He must have labor to call into exercise the wonderful organs of the body. Had happiness consisted in doing nothing, men in this state of holy innocence would have been left unemployed. But he who created men knew that what would be for his happiness. And no sooner had he created him than he gave him his appointed work. The promise of future glory and the decree that man must toil for his daily bread came from the same throne. Now, as we look at the man, he is supposed to eat the sweat. Everything that he does, he has to make sure that he works. He labors and he provides for himself and he provides for the family. God did not create men that you should sit on top of the hands. You wake up in the morning, you go and you start watching television or whatsoever that you can do. You just sit there and you do nothing. No, that's not how God made men. God is honored by a Christian home. What is a Christian home? And how can we honor God? What does it mean to have a Christian home? We've already spoke about that in the previous presentation. Make sure that you go to look at the second presentation, lesson number 2 on the Adventist home. It's full of good and wonderful lessons in there. Make sure that you go and follow it. You are going to be blessed. Fathers and mothers who make God first in their household, who teach their children that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Glorify God before angels and before men by presenting to the world a well-ordered, well-disciplined family, a family that love and obey God instead of rebelling against Him. Christ is not a stranger in their homes. His name is a household name, revered and glorified. Angels delight in a home where God reigns supreme, and the children are taught to reverence religion, the Bible, and their Creator. Such families can claim the promise. Them that honor me, I will honor. As from such a home, the father goes forth to his daily duties. It is with a spirit softened and subdued by converse with God. The presence of Christ alone can make men and women happy. So why is that there is so much hatred in the families? Why is it that in the society there are a lot of divisions? There is no unity and solidarity amongst ourselves. So why is it so? It is because the love of God has not been manifested in our hearts. The one who does not love does not know God. So the one who knows God will be able to love and to love unconditionally, not to love with expectations. You will love because God is in the heart. The presence of Christ alone can make men and women happy. All the common waters of life Christ can turn into the wine of heaven. The womb then becomes as an Eden of bliss. The family, a beautiful symbol of the family in heaven. Don't you desire that you should have a happy marriage life? Don't you desire that you should have a loving family? So, what is most important is that we invite Jesus Christ in our families. And when we do so, there is a promise that He is going to dwell in our homes, a place that even the heavenly angels would love to visit. So everything, it starts by me. You don't have to wait for the other part to act up, but you yourself, you are to start. And when you start, there is a promise that Christ will dwell in our families. And also, when we do that, there is going to be a light in the community because of your family. Some other children, when you see them walking in the streets, you can even wonder, where does this child come from? Does this child even have families? Does this child have a guardian? Why you have to think like that? It's because of the words that come from the mouth of that child. Why is it so? Parents, it is high time, and we are to take our duties into consideration to make sure that we prepare our homes to be a place that the heavenly angels would love to visit. And if you are that person that you see that you are failing to manage your family, why do you continue to have more children and then you leave them out there and you forget your responsibilities? It is better not to have children than to just bring them into the world and you fail to take on your responsibilities. May the Lord be with you and bless you in a very special way. And make sure that you do follow the previous presentation that I've already made. We have looked at the atmosphere of the home. That is the first lesson on Adventist home. Make sure that you go visit there. I will leave the link down below on the description so that you will be able to visit it and find out what does it mean to have a beautiful home that the heavenly angels would love to visit. Make sure that you do subscribe, give us a like, and also make sure that you tune in tomorrow at the same time, 10 o'clock. I look forward to seeing you there. And also don't forget to share with me your thoughts on the comment section. That will be greatly appreciated. There are many families that will benefit from your comments. One truth, it's all about building families for eternity. And together, holding hands, we can manage to win the world. God be with you.